Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do a collective oracle and affirmations for today. Today is Saturday, January 24th, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. All the information is always in the description box. Take what resonates. It all might resonate. It's affirmations. We're actually going to do some shadow work today, and it's pretty simple. It's for you. It's self-based shadow work. We got the Dark Mirror, 50 Shadow Work Cards by Hattie Thorne. You can find this at hattiethorne.com. She can find this in her Etsy shop, okay? I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to pull a few cards. They're actually questions for you to ask yourself, for you to work on yourself, if necessary, right? I'm never going to tell anybody, oh, you're horrible, you got to work on yourself. No, that's for you to decide. That's not for me to decide. But we're going to shuffle, pull a few cards. When I read the cards, if I feel like there's anything like I need to say, I will. Otherwise, I call it quits and I say, have a nice day. And I don't want you to think that I don't take this seriously, because sometimes I think about these cards for myself, you know? Sometimes it resonates with something in the past. We got one on the table, two on the table. Let's do two more shuffles. I feel like this one's a catch-22, this number 3. Because I have a standard doctor type answer that I can give. But at the same time, I got something else to say about it too. We have 4 on the table with bottom of the deck. Hold on. Let me drink my caffeine. Okay. We've got, how do I handle loneliness and what does it reveal about me? How do I deal with anger and what lies beneath my anger? How do I react to praise and what does it reveal about my self-worth? We're going to talk about this one. We're going to talk about all of them for a second, because I think I have something to say about all of them. And bottom of the deck, what are the lies I tell myself to avoid facing the truth? Ooh, what? What? Okay, I got an answer for this one too, like personal answer that I can share with you guys. Okay. So that was bottom of the deck. How do I handle loneliness and what does it reveal about me? Okay, first and foremost, I'm just going to say this. And again, all of you guys should take these and go deep within and think about it if you feel the need. But I'm just going to say this. How do I handle loneliness and what does it reveal about me? Everybody gets lonely. I get lonely. Okay? And I keep myself fairly busy, y'all. You know that. If you follow, if you subscribe, if you watch the channel, I keep myself fairly busy. I have my 9 to 5 job. I work on my YouTube channel. I work on my TikTok, my Instagram, my social media stuff. I haven't been writing or anything like that. I kind of put that on hold, but my exercising, my walking, I've been taking some classes online. Like I tend to keep myself fairly busy, okay? I still feel lonely every once in a while. It's okay, right? It's okay. It's natural, okay? If you are for some reason feeling lonely like all the time, then I think that's an issue. I think that's something to think about. Because depending on how long you've been alone, by yourself, single, whatever the case, or even if you feel alone and you're married. Again, things to think about, I mean, I felt like that when I was married to the ex-husband. I felt like I was alone. And I thought, well, if I'm alone in a marriage, why wouldn't I just be alone by myself and I would have to do less, you know? I'm just saying, everybody feels lonely at some point. It's okay. It's normal. If it's an ongoing thing, if it's consistent and constant, then yeah, I would definitely journal or meditate. I would think about it. Literally just take a seat and think about it. Like just open up the mind and think about it. How do I deal with anger and what lies beneath my anger? Okay. So I'm just going to give you an example. So I get angry with the cats. Like if I come home and there's barf on the floor, like maybe I'm calm and cool and collected, but 2 days later when I come home and there's barf on the floor, I'm angry as hell. Like I'm yelling and screaming and kicking, right? Like a little kid. Sometimes I get angry and sometimes I don't. I'm just going to say this. I think a lot of my anger when those things, because if I get angry, it always seems to come out like if it involves the cat. Okay. Or if I'm trying to do something and I can't do it, then I get frustrated with myself and I get angry. That one's like a give, like, you know what that is. Anyway, anyway, and that's something you'll always be working on. But my anger with the cats, I realized it's because I put myself into situations where I have to take care of people, pets, right? When I was married to the ex-husband, I literally did everything for him. He was a grown man. I literally did everything for him. And then when he wouldn't do something, I would get angry. Well, of course he's not going to do it because he knows you're going to do it. And now you're angry because you have to do it. Do you see where I'm going with this? When I get angry at the cats, it's because in my mind, I'm thinking, why do I have to do this for you? Like, like why am I, at the end of the day, a cat is a cat. A cat can only do so much for themselves. If they're barfing, peeing, or pooping and you need to clean it up, you need to clean it up. They're not human. They can't do that on their own, right? Cats are very self-sufficient creatures. Like they can go off and do their own thing, but there are things that they can't do for themselves. And it took me a while to recognize that one of the reasons why I get so angry in those situations is because I don't want to have to take, and I know this sounds horrible, but I don't want to have to take some care of somebody. Like I want to take care of them because I want to take care of them, but when I'm faced with like having to clean up barf every other day, a piece of poo on the carpet or the floor or whatever, it's like, really? Like, did you have to do this? Did you have to make me have to clean it up? And it just it just reminds me of when I was married to the ex-husband and I felt like I had to do everything. And I think that's where the anger comes from. It's because I feel like I shouldn't have to do it. Again, a pet is a pet, right? A cat can only do so much. Of course, I'm going to have to clean up poo unless I want to walk through it. And my reactions like that are less and less because I recognize where that's coming from. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How do I react to praise and what does it reveal about my self-worth? Okay, so I'm just going to say this. I'm the humble hermit for a reason. I'm very humble about praise, accolades, stuff like that. However, I will say this, and it's kind of two things here. So you should want external validation, okay? It's normal to want somebody to say, hey, you're beautiful, or hey, you're so smart, or oh, I love your clothes, or like you take such great care of your kids. It's normal to want somebody to acknowledge how good you are at something, right? It's normal. However, how do I react to praise? If somebody says, like you're beautiful, and you just say like, oh no, but no, or like you just make like an offhand comment, right? Like you make a joke because you deflect. that person will stop telling you you're beautiful. If somebody tells you you're beautiful, say thank you and move on if you don't know what else to say. But say thank you. And just know that it's okay to accept praise. It's okay to accept external validation. Now, here's the thing, and I've said this before, you should love yourself to the point where external validation doesn't matter. Who the fuck cares if somebody thinks you're pretty? Who the fuck cares if somebody thinks you're smart? If you think you're pretty, if you think you're smart, if you think you're ab fab, that's all that matters. But when somebody says something, say thank you and move on. I'm just saying. Again, I'm more on the humble side, so I usually say thank you and I just kind of move on. And it's just because I've gotten to the point let me put it this way. When I was younger, I probably didn't want to accept it because I didn't believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, when I'm older and I believe in myself and I love myself and I have faith in myself, now I just say thank you and move on because it doesn't matter to me. But I'm going to be polite and I'm going to be nice and I'm going to say thank you. Very sweet of you. And I'm going to move on because I already know I love myself. I like myself just the way I am. When I wake up every morning, however I wake up that day, that's how I love myself. And it could be different every damn day, right? Because we're always growing and changing and healing. I'm not the same person that I was yesterday or the same person that I will be on Monday. Think about that one. Think about it. That was the one that stood out to me the most out of all 4 cards. What are the lies I tell myself to avoid facing the truth? Y'all. Y'all. I think this is going to be individualistic. I had an example and now I forgot what it was. What are the lies I tell myself to avoid facing? Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a good one. It took me a long time, 44 years to be exact, to 44, to recognize that I need to take accountability for my actions and my inaction. Okay? It took me a long time. And it tends to take people a long time. I think until you get on your healing journey and until you start recognizing like your part in situations, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? You don't really realize like, well, shit, I haven't really taken accountability for a lot of stuff in my life. And I always, if you subscribe, I always use the example of the woman that I got into the fight with at work in November 2024, the week of Thanksgiving. I said some pretty nasty things to her. I felt like I was justified. It took me a few weeks, like a month or so, to realize, like, damn, you were mean as hell, Kim. You were mean as hell. And it doesn't matter how she treated me or how I felt like she treated me. I should have never treated her like that. And I think once I realized, like, I need to take accountability for that situation, and I started looking at other situations, right? And I continue to do so as things happen in my life. It's easier to look back and realize, like, what was I telling myself to avoid the truth? Because it's all about you. Your growth is all about you. Your mental space, your mentality, your heart space. It's all about you. It's all about where you're going to take it. It's all about your own personal advancement, your own movement. So when you learn to take accountability, learn to take accountability for your actions, your inactions, it really opens up the door for a lot of growth. It actually, you know what is funny? It could be mind-blowing. I'm not going to lie. The other instance where I had this kind of situation was when I was separated from the ex-husband and I was getting ready. That's Bubbles, by the way, crying at the door. And I was getting ready to go through my divorce. And I had made a comment to my good friend, and she said, well, you knew what he was when you married him. And at first I was like, bitch, you did not just say that to me. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I thought, damn, this woman is smart as fuck. Like, I did know what I married when I married him. Why did I think that I could change him when I could only change myself? I can't force him to grow. I can't force him to change. I can only change and grow myself. And I was. I already had been. And that's what created the divide between us. That's what made me realize, like, I want a divorce. I don't want to be with this man anymore, because I had grown and changed so much so, and he was still where he was at, which is fine, right? That's fine. He's where he's at. And I've told you guys this before, like, him and I are still friends. I still love him. I'm just not in love with him. You know? Like, he's still where he's at. And don't get me wrong, I'm I'll tell you this too. Since the divorce, he's grown too. I've watched. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm actually really proud of him. Honestly, I really am. I really am. But yeah, like, face the truth. Look at the truth. Whatever it is for you. Don't hide that. Don't put that in the box and hide it in the closet. Like I always say, don't do that. Because once you look at it and you confront it for yourself, and you take care of something for yourself, right? Right? It only betters you in the end. It only makes you better. It only lifts you. So don't lie to yourself and then let it go. Don't do that. I'm going to leave it there. You guys take from it what you will. It's meant for you guys to, figure your own stuff out. So I was just trying to give you little examples of things, like personally, you know. Anyway, I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, a lovely Saturday. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.